Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Newbury Racecourse here on Saturday. It is the 18th of May 2024. Going to look at the featured fourth race to 335, the Lockinge from Newbury. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And also join me today for my Preakness preview from Pimlico. It looks like it's going to be an excellent card there from Pimlico. So get my thoughts on all those stakes races there here on YouTube. That video is live right now. But this fourth race to 335, one of the premier race days in the UK. Let's get to it right now, or not race days, premier races of the in the UK. The fourth race to 335, it is the Group 1 Lockinge Stakes. It's Group 1 event for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $508,000, race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 11 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile on the Newbury turf course. Top selection here, I'm going to go take the 7-horse Poker Face. Let's go 7-2-11 in the TriCash trifecta. 7-2-11 TriCash trifecta. Top selection 7-horse Poker Face is 5-year-old Gallon by Fascinate Rock here. 7 Ed Christopher trained this one. James Doyle gets to mount. His seasonal reappearance came 26th of April at Sandown on quite soft ground, a mile in the Group 2 Bet 365 mile, and he finished second by 1/4 lengths that day, and he just kind of stalked that day. He had the lead. He kind of yielded late. Sharon, who's running back in this one today, really ran a terrific race after all said and done. Didn't break Sharon, but this horse, and Sharon had a horrible trip, but this horse, he just was lackadaisical and needed the race. I think he could turn the tables today. I like him on the stand side poster. He could get a good position there, and I think he could travel fluidly with that kind of running style today. Sandown, I think he need the race there. 2 back in Milan in Italy, heavy ground, 1 mile in the Group 2, Primo Vittio di Cupo. Pardon me, my French is horrible. My Italian is just as bad, if not worse. And that day, the horse finished second by 4 lengths that day. Keep in mind, the winner, Brave Emperor, was the next start winner who won that day. This horse just never really got going, was just traveling lackadaisical, and he just wasn't getting it on the soft ground. And then they ran the horse 30th of September, Longchamp, 1 mile soft ground, the Group 2, Pre-Daniel Wildenstein. He won by 2 lengths that day, and he had a dream position tracking all the way around the race course. When they said go with him, he flew home clear. His races in France last year weren't bad at all. Actually, won the Group 3 Quincy at Deauville over the mile on soft ground, winning by half a length that day. He was stalked. He got the lead from a tracking trip, and then he flew home clear. Even the race before that at Pontefract in the Pontefract Stakes over the mile, he won by 3/4 length, and again from the front end he gamed it out to the wire. Since stepping up in class last year after the Derby and Guineas prep races, he became a great miler. Coming here to the 5-year-old campaign, or not that was 2 seasons ago. Since at the end of as the season went on last year, he's really become a better horse. At 6-1, he could win. Don't throw out the French Invader, the 2-horse Big Rock for Arlene Lemaitre. Came to the UK last year in the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes at Ascot in the fall. Over the mile trip, this horse won by 6 lengths that day, and basically won in a trot. 5-1, that was easy money. That was a great run for this horse that day. Prior to that, the Prix Moline de Longchamp at Longchamp over the mile in September, it didn't do wonders. Finished second by a length that day and was with them early on the front end, but then just kind of yielded. I don't know if the horse liked the ground at Longchamp. He lost to Inspiral in the Prix Jacques Maurice. Inspiral had the jump on this one. Running back this one today off the bench. This horse just really was lackadaisical that day, and then but before that, had a decent place in the Prix de Jacques Club. I think just got out distance there. But when the Prix de Guiche, Prix de la Force, and won some very nice handicaps over the winner at Chantilly. As this, going into the Derby last year in France, he was a great miler. But I just do think that the Derby took a little bit something out of him. Toward the end of the season, he showed some form back. Coming here back to a mile, which I think is his preferred trip, he could win. At 9-5, I know he's a crap price, but you definitely have to use him in the quad pot. And don't throw out the 11-horse Inspiral for we said Frankie Tour, but Kieran Schumark's on this one for the first time. This 5-year-old mare by Frankel. John Thady Gosling trains this one. Her 1.25 debut in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf at San Antonio last fall was incredible. She's winning by a neck. She circled the field that day. A very strong run. Questions about the distance were answered that day. She could handle it. A great run. Prior to then, the Sun Chariot at Newmarket over the mile in October, she won by 3.25 lengths and closing up from mid-pack that day. A very easy race. And then the Prix Jacques Maurice, she fired home easy off the quick turnaround of the of just over a week and a half. Prior to that, in the Sussex Stakes, she ran horribly at Glorious Goodwood. She finished fifth by 8 1/4 lengths that day on very soft ground. She just was, wheels were spinning, never getting a good trip. She doesn't like soft ground. She likes a little, given the ground, but not as that wet stuff that she got last year at Goodwood and at Ascot in the fall 2022. Big question with her sometimes is off the bench she might need the race, but she has the ability to win here today. Getting an inside poster, a 2-1. I would use her on the quad pond, but I do think the other two are likelier winners also. But to recap my selection for the fourth race, 3:35 from Newbury. It's a great running of the Group 1 Lockinge. Going to take the 7-horse Poker Face, give kudos to the 2-horse Big Rock, and the number 11-horse Inspiral. 7-2-11 trifecta. Use all three of them in the quad pod. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck.